Hello everyone, my name is Garima Mahajan, and today we're going to continue the topic which we have started in the previous video, that is changes occurring during muscle contraction. So today we're going to study the rest three type of changes occurring. First we're going to see histological changes during muscle contraction. To study that we have to see what is actomyosin complex. So this is the basic functional unit of a muscle which is known as a sarcomere. Here we can see these thin filaments. These are the actin filaments, and these thick filaments, these are the myosin filaments. The movement of these two filaments results in the contraction of muscle, and we're going to see what actually happened and what is the process taking place. So first we're going to understand that in relaxed state of the muscle, the actin filaments are always away from each other, and there is a broad edge zone which can be seen here. And during the time of contraction of muscles, these actin filaments glides over these myosin thick filaments and results in the formation of actomyosin complex. So now there are three stages present in the molecular basis of the muscle contraction. First is excitation contraction coupling. Second is role of troponin and tropomyosin, and the third is sliding mechanism. Now, in first thing, we're going to say excitation contraction coupling. In excitation of muscle fiber, there is a impulse which pass through the motor nerve and the neuromuscular junction, and due to the result of this stimulus, there is generation of action potential in the muscle fiber, and that action potential spreads through the T tubules and enter inside the L tubule, the cisternae of L tubules, which in turn results in the release of calcium ions in a large amount. And this calcium ion then move towards the actin filament, and finally this result in the contraction of muscle fibers. This is excitation contraction coupling. Now we're going to see role of troponin and tropomyosin in this process of muscle contraction. So the head of myosin molecule has tendency to connect with the site of F-actin, which is the site present on the actin filament. So this active site of F-actin is usually covered by a tropomyosin molecule during the relaxed state of a muscle. So due to this tropomyosin present on the active side of F-actin, the myosin molecule can't connect to the F-actin. So in this what happened, the calcium ions which were released earlier from the L tubules during the excitation of muscle, they binds with troponin C. And when these molecules bind with troponin C, there is some type of changes in the troponin molecule, and that troponin molecule in turn pulls that tropomyosin molecule which was covering the F-actin side. Due to help of this mechanism, now the active site is open, and the myosin head can easily combine with that actin site. So this is the role of troponin and tropomyosin. Now the third thing is sliding mechanism and formation of actomyosin complex. It is also known as sliding theory. So here what happened, we saw there is a release of calcium ions in abundance from the L tubules. These calcium ion binds with the troponin, which change the position of troponin, and the troponin pull tropomyosin molecule from F-actin, which expose the active site from the F-actin, and there is attachment of myosin head to the actin site. This is actomyosin complex. And then there comes power stroke. Here we can see power stroke means tilting of myosin head and dragging of actin filament. As we can see here, the myosin head is connected to the actin filament, and this power stroke means the myosin head is tilting backwards as the actin filaments move. This is the power stroke. So this power stroke happen after this. When the actin filaments are moving, then there is detachment of head from the previous site, the previous active site of the actin filament, and the myosin head now attached to a new site at the actin filament. So this movement of filaments is forming the actomyosin complex, and this continuous movements occur inside a muscle, and this is a continuous process occurring when there is contraction and relaxation. So this process of movement of actin filament towards each other, actin and myosin filament towards each other and forming the actomyosin complex. This is contraction of muscle. This results in the contraction of muscle. And power stroke is a very important event in this process. Now we're going to see what are the changes occurring in the sarcomere during the muscle contraction. Sarcomere is basic functional unit of the cell. As we can see, this is sarcomere. The changes occurring here is length of all sarcomeres decreases as the Z line comes closer. During the contraction, these filaments overlap each other. So these Z lines, these two border lines come close to each other. So ultimately the sarcomere size will decrease. Then the length of I band decreases since actin filaments from opposite sides overlap. These are the I bands. When these actin filaments overlap, the I bands will also, the length of I bands also decrease. H zone is either decreases or there is no H zone seen, because when these filaments are overlapping each other, the H zone is going to disappear ultimately. And the length of band A bands remains the same, which are these bands. From this to this area, these are the A band, the length remains same for them. Now we're going to see energy for muscular contraction. So what happened at the molecular level in terms of energy during the time of muscle contraction? As we can see, there is movement of myosin head, which we studied earlier, is called as power stroke. There is breakdown of ATP into ADP and inorganic phosphate. So the head of myosin has an active site for ATP to bind on itself, and that head acts as ATPase enzyme itself, which ultimately catalyzes the ATP into ADP and inorganic phosphate. So before the onset of contraction, the ATP molecule binds with the myosin head and removes, and then there is tropomyosin, which moves to expose the active site on the actin filament, as we studied in earlier processes. So the head is now exposed to the active site. Then there is breakdown of ATP happening, where the head is acting as ATPase enzyme. Then the ATP is converted into ADP, an inorganic phosphate, and that two molecules remain inside the head only initially. And then in this process, the energy released is utilized for the process of contraction in the muscle. And secondly, we're going to see when the head is tilted backward, then these two molecules, which are ADP and inorganic phosphate, they got released, and then the head come back to the original position and the new ATP molecule binds with the head. This is the complete process of contraction, and this process repeat until the muscle contraction is completed. So these are the energy basis of that molecular basis of the contraction. At energy, in terms of energy, how the changes are occurring during the time of muscular contraction. Now we're going to see relaxation of muscle. In relaxation of muscle, the calcium ions which were released from the L tubules are pumped back inside the L tubules, due to which there is decreased calcium content in the sarcoplasmic area. There is decreased calcium, in which results in the calcium ion from troponin C will release. The calcium ion will release from the troponin, which ultimately results in the detachment of myosin head from the F actin, that is muscular relaxation. So we can see this is the opposite process as compared to the contraction. In contraction, there was L tubules releasing the calcium, and in terms of relaxation, in case of relaxation, the calcium ions were pumped again inside the L tubules. So this is relaxation of muscle. Now we're going to see that was the histological changes. Now we're going to see chemical changes occurring during the muscle contraction. So there is liberation of energy, due to which the changes are occurring inside the muscle contraction, inside the muscles. So the energy is liberated inside during the process of breakdown of ATP. So the energy consumed in all the processes occurring during the muscle contraction is released when the ATP molecule is breakdown in ADP and inorganic phosphate. Here we can see a symbolic representation of that. The ATP is converted into ADP and phosphate, and there is release of energy. This energy released in turn help in the spread of action potential into the muscle, liberation of calcium ion into the liberation of calcium ion from L tubules into the sarcoplasm, movement of myosin head, and fourth one is sliding mechanism. These are the processes which requires these energy, and these energy is released to complete these processes during the muscle contraction. Now we're going to see how this ATP is resynthesis. Now we're going to see like for the production of this ATP, the ADP can't combine with the previous inorganic phosphate molecule. There is requirement of a high energy phosphate radical now to form ATP from ADP, so that energy can be resynthesized. So basically there are two sources of high energy phosphate which can be obtained. So basically the two processes or the two sources are two metabolisms occurring inside the muscle. One is creatine phosphate and other is carbohydrate metabolism. This creatine phosphate is always present inside the muscle in this form, in this complex form, creatine phosphate. So what happens when there is free ADP molecule present inside the muscle, that creatine phosphate release phosphate and creatine which separates from each other, and that ADP combine with that phosphate molecule and form ATP. This process, this reaction is specifically known as Lohmann's reaction. And second molecule we're going to see is carbohydrate metabolism. And one more point, in creatine phosphate mechanism, the contraction only takes place for few seconds. But in case of carbohydrate metabolism, the contraction of the muscle is for longer time. In this we can see the glycogen is present inside the muscle, and there is breakdown of breakdown of glycogen due to catabolic reactions occurring inside the muscle, which produces ATP in turn. So now we're going to see how much ATP is produced. During the process of glycolysis, two molecules of ATP are produced. During Krebs cycle, two molecules of ATP are produced, and by the utilization of hydrogen. This is the hydrogen which is released during the process of glycolysis and Krebs cycle, which ultimately, these hydrogens ultimately utilized to form ATP molecules. So the number of ATP produced by consuming these hydrogens released from these two processes are 34 molecules, and the total number is 38 molecules. Now we're going to see changes in the pH during the muscle contraction. When the muscle is at resting state, the muscle is at alkaline, has an alkaline pH of 7.3. Then during the onset of contraction, when the contraction is starting, the muscle become acidic, and that acidic nature or acidity is due to dephosphorylation of ATP. Dephosphorylation means the removal of phosphate molecule from the ATP and the conversion of ATP into ADP and inorganic phosphate, that is dephosphorylation. Due to that, the environment inside the muscle will become acidic, and during the later part of contraction, the muscle will become alkaline again, because there is resynthesis of ATP molecule from creatine phosphate, which we studied earlier. And at the end of contraction, the muscle become acidic once again. Now this acidity is due to the formation of pyruvic acid, or we can say lactic acid, inside the muscle. So we can see here, first the muscle at the resting point is alkaline, then the onset of contraction the muscle will become acidic, then in later part of contraction the muscle will become alkaline again, and at the end of contraction the muscle will become acidic again. Now we're going to see the last type of changes occurring during muscle contraction, which is thermal changes. So thermal changes is basically heat produced during the time of muscle contraction. So this heat will not produce at same time. It will produce in different stages, which are resting stages when the muscle is at rest. Then initial heat this is the basically the heat produced during the time of contraction, and recovery heat, this is producing after all the activity stops. We're going to see one by one what actually happened in this. In resting heat, this is the heat produced when the muscle is at rest, and this heat is produced due to metabolic processes in going inside the muscle, that is resting heat. Second is initial heat. Initial heat also produced in three different stages. First stage is heat of activation. This heat of activation is also called as maintenance heat. So when this heat of activation is produced, this heat is produced when the muscle is shortening. The muscle fiber is becoming short in length. And this is produced due to the release of calcium ions from L tubules. Now, the heat of shortening, that is the second type of heat under initial heat. This heat produced during the contraction of muscle, and this produces due to the various structural changes inside the muscle fiber. For example, movement of cross bridges of myosin heads and breakdown of glycogen. These are the some processes during which the heat of shortening will produce. Now the third one is heat of relaxation. This heat of relaxation is produced when the muscle is relaxing, and this produced when the length of muscle fiber is increased again when the time of relaxation. These are the three type of heats which are producing inside under initial heat, which are heat of activation producing before the actual shortening, then heat of shortening which is producing during contraction, then heat of relaxation which is producing during the time of relaxation. Then the third type of heat which produce is recovery heat. This heat produced inside the muscle after all the activities end. This process of contraction and relaxation ends, and this recovery heat is produced. This recovery heat is produced due to the chemical processes involved in resynthesis of chemical substance which were broken down during the contraction. So basically this recovery heat is producing because in order to prepare the muscle for the next process of contraction and relaxation, this recovery heat is producing inside the muscle. Thank you. So these are all type of changes which are occurring during the time of muscle contraction inside the body. Thank you.